The sun was low when a young man reached the river. He had been walking for hours, hoping the silence here could calm his thoughts. The river was wide and quiet, its surface carrying the last light of the day. It looked like it had been flowing since before the world began. On a flat rock near the water sat an old sage. He didn't move much, just breathed slowly, as if he had become part of the river itself. The young man stood there for a while before he spoke. He said he had been walking for days, trying to escape the noise in his mind. No matter where he went, the memories followed. He kept replaying everything he wished had gone differently. The people he lost, the things he couldn't change. The sage listened without a word. Then, with a calm smile, he said that the river never asked such questions. The young man looked puzzled. The sage pointed to the water and told him to watch. The river moved forward, yet every drop that passed was already gone. Still, it never cried for what had left. The young man knelt by the bank and watched a small leaf drift past. He asked, almost to himself, how the river could forget everything and still stay a river. The sage told him, because it remembers how to flow, not what it has lost. Those words lingered in the air. The young man let the water run through his fingers. It slipped away no matter how tightly he tried to hold it. The sage said gently that peace begins when you stop trying to hold on. Let it touch you, he said, and then let it go. The young man opened his hand. Cold water brushed against his palm. For a moment he felt lighter, almost weightless. The sage nodded slowly and said, "That is how peace begins. Not by staying still, but by moving with what is." For a while, neither of them spoke. Only the river did. Then the sage reached for a small stone beside him. He said that when he was young, he too had lost someone dear. For many days he sat here by this same river, throwing stones into the water, hoping one might stop the current. But it never did. He let the stone fall back into the stream. "The river kept moving," he said softly. "And one day I understood. It wasn't the river that needed to stop. It was me." The young man looked at him with quiet understanding. He asked how he could ever learn to move like that, to live without fighting time. The sage smiled faintly and said, "Start small. Watch the water. Breathe with it. Walk beside it." He told him that the river already knows everything about life, that everything passes, yet life continues. The young man watched the surface shimmer under the fading sun. Gold and silver melted into shadow. He whispered that peace isn't about forgetting, it's about allowing. The sage agreed. "Allow the river to move through you," he said. "Allow time to take what it must. That is how you stay alive inside change." Something quiet opened in the young man's chest. He stood up, still watching the water. He said he couldn't change the past, but maybe he could walk forward with it. The sage rose too. He looked at the river as if greeting an old friend. "That's all any of us can do," he said. "The river never stops, and neither should we." The young man bowed his head, thanked him softly, and began walking along the bank. The path curved through mist and shadow. The light had grown dim, but the current still glimmered faintly under the sky. He walked until his figure faded into the fog, and only the river remained, moving, endless, alive.